Right, so today in class we were talking a little bit about equations. Remember, an equation is different from an expression. We can see the word equa, and it almost looks like the word equals. An equation will always have an equal sign. You have two things on both sides of an equal sign, and they should equal each other. Okay, so if we look over here at our first example, we have x plus 5 equals 12. And I'm going to cover up these other two examples while we work on that, just so they're not kind of in our way. And so if I have x plus 5 equals 12, the first step that I was going to do is I'm going to rewrite the problem. X plus 5 equals 12. So theoretically, this would be like, I get this is the assignment in the book, and then I'm writing it in my notebook. And I'm following this procedure, and I'm expecting all the students to as well, because a lot of this is about the process. And you'll be doing the same process whether you're working for easy equations, which hopefully you could look at this and maybe even already know what the answer is, or harder equations. So that means some number plus 5 is going to equal 12. So then I would think a little bit to myself, well, what number would make that true? Then I would probably try 7. And then to check my answer to see if that works, I would have 7 plus 5 equals 12. So I have 12 equals 12. I'm just bringing the right side down. So that means I know I got it correct. So that means 7 must be x. So to write my answer, I would put x equals 7. Now I would circle that. Now I'm checking my answer. Because let's say, for example, I had x plus 5 equals 12, and I thought to myself, oh, that's 6. 6 plus 5 equals 12. 11 equals 12. By checking my answer, I can confirm whether it works or not. So again, this is a kind of obvious one, but if I had something with decimals or division, it might be helpful to actually write it out and check it. So we're going to just practice that step. So since that's not equals, I would have to try something again. 7 is the only one that's going to work there. Okay, each equation that we're going to be doing is probably going to have just one answer. There are different times where we have equations that can have more than one answer, but right now we're just looking at one. So we're going to look at another problem. This one we have 6x equals 30. Remember, when we have 6 next to an x, that is called a coefficient, and that means that we're going to be multiplying 6 times whatever that x equals. It means we have 6 of these. Okay, so I would put 6 times some number is going to equal 30. So then I have to think about it for a second, and hopefully I know my times tables, so I could quickly answer this, and I would know that 6 times 5 is going to equal 30. And I check my answer by just doing the math. 30 does equal 30, so that means instead of an x, right, I am going to write it as x equals 5. So rewrite the problem, try to figure out what number goes in there, check your answer, it should all be equal. One more problem. We have 7 equals x divided by 3. Now, the variable, the letter, which could be an x or y or z, all of these have x, but each problem you're going to have a new answer. The variable could be on the right side or the left side, and if you would rather rewrite the problem as x divided by 3 equals 7, you totally could do that. Okay? You're going to get the same answer no matter what. So this means what number divided by 3 equals 7? With the division ones, we really want to stop and want to try to think about, okay, what would make that true? In this case, I could try 21. 21 divided by 3 definitely does equal 7. So I get 7 equals 7. So I would have x equals 21. Okay? Right, because I want to look at whatever number I put in there is the number that x must equal. So we're seeing for all three of these, rewrite the problem, mentally think about what makes it work, go ahead and check your answer, so substitute that value in, and then put the variable equals that for your final answer. Okay, we'll learn other ways to solve these later this year, and ways of doing things like called balancing equations, but right now we're just trying to think mentally, and then we're checking our answer.